So welcome everybody to our third chakra class today. So we have done our root chakra, which is earth and very heavy, steady, solid. And we've done our movement and creativity of the sacral chakra, which is the water element, still heavy and downward moving with gravity. And now we move to the solar plexus chakra, or Manipura, which means city of jewels. And so you can think about this fire, this is the element of fire, of these sparkling jewels, coals in a fire, right at our navel center. So between the navel and the sternum, this is the area of our solar plexus. So we're going to rub our hands together and create a little bit of heat. And once you've got some heat going in your hands, blow the heat of your breath into your hands. And then bring one hand to the solar plexus on the front and one hand to your, if you can reach back there, if your shoulders allow, on your back. Close your eyes and feel the warmth and the heat of your hands. And begin to breathe into the belly. And see if you can even breathe into your back body here. And begin to become familiar with this part of your body, the solar plexus. This is our power center, our center of empowerment, of vitality, and like fire, center of transformation, where we digest not only food and assimilate food, but also digest everything we take in from the world around us through our senses, including the news. And if we don't digest and eliminate that which we no longer need and let it go, it can sit in us and become toxic, just like food that we don't digest and eliminate. So we're going to work to purify the system through our movements and our breath today. Take a couple more breaths here, just feeling into that area. You can switch hands if you wish to give your shoulder a little break. A nice big belly breaths here. Really feel the movement of your breath. And as you inhale, imagine that coal, that city of jewels right between your hands here. As you inhale, imagine the glow becoming bigger and stronger. And as you exhale, imagine that warmth spreading out through your whole body. And then you can release your hands from your chakra area, and we're going to move into some pranayama. We're going to be using a lot of Kapalabhati breath, which is really stoking the fire through our practice today. And so we're also going to use a mudra, a hand mudra. So your left hand, palm facing up, and then your right hand, I don't know if you guys can see that, there we go, thumb pointing up. So it's like a fist with your thumb pointing up. The thumb represents the sun. And so placing your fist in your palm just in front of your belly. And then we'll take a couple breaths just holding the mudra here. And we're going to start Kapalabhati breath. And hopefully most of you remember this from other classes we've done. But that's that forced exhale from the low belly. So we're activating those core muscles, those low belly muscles, when we do the Kapalabhati breath. So take an easy inhale. Easy exhale. Take one more inhale. And then we begin. Keep going, holding your mudra and continuing with your Kapalabhati breath. You may begin to feel some heat building in the body. You may begin to feel some warmth, tingling presence in the forehead, in the skull, as well as within the body. Keep going for a little bit longer. And then release the Kapalabhati breath. Exhale everything out. Take a deep inhale. And pause, retaining the breath at the top of your inhale. If you feel comfortable doing so, as you retain your inhale, collarbones remain lifted. Draw the low belly in and up just a little bit more as you continue retaining the breath. And slowly exhale everything out. You can release the mudra and just take a few rounds of regular breath. Now that Kapalabhati breath that you just did, that forced exhale by pumping the low belly, we're going to be working with that in some of our postures today. So that was practice. I'm just letting the belly move freely right now for a couple more rounds of breath. And then we're going to use another mudra, and this one is called mushti, and it's a fist, and then your thumbs cover your fingers. So they're basically touching your ring finger. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but we're going to start. And this mudra is actually to help to transform anger. So if you've got any anger that you may be holding on to recently, this is to transform the energy of anger. So we're going to start by opening your fingers wide, reach up high, and then as we exhale, we force the breath out, much like we did in Kapalabhati. Inhale, reach up, spread the fingers, and then we just go a little faster. All through your nose. Couple more rounds. Last one. And release the hands down. It's a great little exercise to do if you get angry at somebody or something. Just take a couple belly breaths here. And then bring your hands to heart center. We're going to reach our hands up, intertwining your fingers and just letting the index finger release up. This is Kali Mudra, to cut through any negative feelings and emotions. And also the shape of your body right now is like that of a flame. So bring your awareness to that tip of the flame with this energy rising all the way to the tip of the flame. Like a flame rising, like a fire rising. And connect with your ujjayi breath here now. And at the top of your next inhale, as you lengthen up, pause, retain the breath at the top of the inhale. Reach up a little bit more, keep holding the inhale retention. And then exhale, let it go. Now from here, we're going to grab your block or your rolled up towel, whatever you're using, and lie down on your back. And the block is going to go between your thighs. So feet are grounded to start. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. Move a little closer. So squeezing the block with your thighs, feet are grounded, hands come behind your head, elbows out to the side. And the elbows are going to remain out to the side. So squeezing your block, we're going to do a double exhale. It's kind of like a little bit like a sit-up, but not really. So you're going to take an inhale with elbows wide. As you exhale, lift the head and shoulders just a bit. Exhale all the breath out, elbows stay wide. And then pause. Press your head into your hands and exhale a little bit more. Draw the low belly in a little bit more. Release. Take a nice big inhale. We're going to do this a few times. So if you didn't get it the first time, you'll get it the second time. So elbows stay wide. Lift up a little bit. Exhale. Pause. And then press your head into your hands. Draw the belly in a little bit more on your exhale. Release down. So it's like a two-part exhale. Nice big inhale. The exhale, we lift up, draw the belly in, elbows stay wide. Press your head into your hands and draw the low belly in a little bit more. And inhale to release down. So we're going to do a few more of those. And what we're doing here, it seems like a really subtle movement. Keep moving with your breath. But what we're doing is we're really accessing those deep abdominal muscles, those deep low belly muscles that you were waking up with Kapalabhati breath. Let's do two more like this. So draw the belly in on your exhale as you lift, elbows stay wide, and then press your head back as you draw the belly in more. Release down to take a nice big inhale. And if any point during the class you need to stop whatever we're doing and take a break and catch up, please do so. As you complete this last one, we're going to change it up just a little bit. Keep squeezing your block as you come down. Take a nice big inhale. Extend your right leg straight out. We're going to do exactly the same thing with this leg extended, squeezing on your block. Exhale, lift a little bit, elbows wide. Press your head into your hands. Draw the belly in a little more. And release down. Let's do the other leg. Extend the left leg straight out. Exhale, lift, elbows are wide. Press the head into the hands. Squeeze your block, draw the belly in more. Release down. Let's do two more to each side. So extending right leg. The exhale, we lift, belly draws in. Second exhale, belly draws in more as we press the head back. Squeezing your block, release down. Left side. Exhale. Draw in the belly, squeeze your block, press your head back. And release down. Last time on the right side, extending right leg. And if this becomes too much, you could ground both legs. Squeezing the block, squeezing the belly, press the head back. And the last one on the left. Pressing, squeezing, everything's activated. Kind of like isometric crunches. Release down out of that. And now you can take your block out for a moment, but keep it handy because we are going to use it. So let's extend the legs straight up to the sky. Take an inhale with legs extended. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, draw your knees towards your chest, lift up, reach forward with your hands, and draw your knees using your abdominal muscles towards your forehead. Inhale, reach overhead, extend the legs up. Let's do a few more like that. Exhale, lift up, reach forward, draw the knees in tight, like a little seed, full of potential. Let's do two more. Using your inhale to extend. And the last one, the exhale, we curl up into a little ball. And release. Let the feet come down. Let's roll over to your side. And making your way, making your way onto hands and knees. Let's just do a couple of rounds of cat-cow just to release any tension you may have created in the front body. So the inhale, and don't let the front body just completely collapse, but try to create length as you inhale. And then exhale, that low belly, the navel center, all draws in towards the spine. Just doing a few rounds like this. Do one more round wherever you're at with your breath. And then we're going to grab our block as you complete that round. You're going to grab your block or your towel that's rolled up to be about the size of a block so that you can squeeze onto it with your thighs again. And we're going to come into downward facing dog. So lifting the knees up and back. Fingers are spread wide, squeezing in onto your block. This is really good practice for your down dog and your plank, even if it wasn't solar plexus class. So we're going to rock back and forth between plank and down dog a few times. So inhaling, coming forward to plank, squeezing your block, and then exhale, lead with the belly back into downward facing dog. And inhaling. So we're really just kind of almost like a slow pumping with our breath between plank and down dog. The inhale takes us to plank. The exhale takes us to down dog. Let's do 2 more like that. Now this next time as we come into plank, we're going to do Kapalabhati breath here. Now, if you want to lower to your knees or you want to lower to your forearms to do that, that's absolutely fine. You choose what works best for you. Squeeze onto your block, lift it through the shoulders, and let's do a few rounds of Kapalabhati. Take a big inhale, exhale back, downward facing dog, come down to forearms into dolphin. And if this is too much and you need to come to child's pose, come into child's pose. Do what feels right for you. 1 more breath here. And then drop the knees. Take your block out. And you can take child's pose for just a couple of breaths. And then let's inhale, float up, find downward facing dog just for 1 breath. And then we come to the top of your mat, stepping, walking, or floating. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, belly draws in as you fold and rise up on the inhale. Draw into your heart center. Take a couple breaths in mountain pose. Everybody should be nice and warmed up. And then bring your feet nice and wide. So that same Kali mudra that we did before, which is intertwining your fingers with the index fingers extended and thumbs crossed. Inhale, reach up to the sky in Kali mudra. I know you can't see my hands on the screen, but that's okay. It's Kali mudra that we're doing. And feet nice and wide. We're going to take a nice big inhale. And as we exhale, bend the knees and bring the hands down like a wood chopper out behind you. And inhale to come up. So we're going to do this a few times, a little bit faster. And you can even go as you bend. This is again cutting through any negativity you might have been holding on to, purifying and letting go of all that stuff that we hold on to. All the crap that we listen to on the news. Some little thing that happened that we got angry about because we're upset about COVID. Whatever it is, let's do a few more rounds and let it all go. And you'll feel the body heating here as well. Let's do 1 last one. And bring it into your heart center. Take a couple breaths here in your mountain pose. You can bring your feet in to a regular stance. Feel that heat, that energy. Feel everything that has been stirred up in those first few postures and movements that we've done. Feel your heartbeat, feel your breath moving, feel energy tingling throughout your body. And so now we're going to go through some sun salutations, which are the epitome of the solar plexus as we move our body in all different directions, paying homage and honoring both the sun and the light within ourselves. So I'm going to add a few lunges into our sun salutations as well. So let's start by inhaling up to the sky. And the exhale, we bow down. Inhale, lift halfway. The exhale, we step with the right foot to the back of our mat into a lunge. So again, we're going to use our breath to move in and out of lunge and reverse lunge. And you can have blocks here if you would like to have blocks to make this more accessible, or walk that left foot out a little bit to make more room for more abundance if you need to. Take an inhale here. We use the exhale to move into reverse lunge. So we're moving between flexion and extension on that left knee. Inhale, back forward. Exhale, reverse lunge. And just moving with your breath. Inhaling, bending the knee. Exhaling, straightening the knee. It's like we're moving all this energy that we've been creating in those first few postures in our belly, that fire, and we're spreading this to this pumping action with our breath throughout the body. Let's do one more. And then let's step back into plank pose. And know that whenever we're in plank, your plank could be full plank, it can be knees. And as you lower down, you can lower through chaturanga, or you can lower down with your knees down, knees, chin, chest, keeping your bum up. Bring the heart through, coming into cobra. And as we come into cobra, feel that pressure of the floor against your belly, helping to balance out the intensity of what we're creating in the solar plexus. Exhale back, downward facing dog. And let's float right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. And exhale, step it up between your hands. And let's do the same thing with our lunges we did on the first one. So exhaling into reverse lunge. The inhale, we come back into our classic lunge. So just moving with your breath, exhale and inhale. Kind of creating this, we're doing it rather slowly, but it's like a pumping action that we're creating with our body, with our legs, moving that energy, moving that fire, purifying the whole system with our movements and our breath here. Staying connected to your ujjayi. Let's do one last one. And as we come into our lunge position with knee bent, step forward into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bow down, and inhale, rise up. Coming up into your mountain pose. Take a breath or two here. We want to create heat, but we don't want to burn ourselves out either. So take a few breaths here. Staying connected to your ujjayi even when we're in our resting pose. So this next round of sun salutations, I'm going to offer some side plank. If that's not appropriate for your shoulders, you can stay in regular plank or half plank rather than moving in, or down dog, rather than moving into the plank variations that I'll be offering you. Always being kind to your body with what's happening today. So let's inhale, reach up to the sky. This time sit down in chair pose. Take another inhale here, spreading your feet apart. We're creating a little more heat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. And exhale, let's step back with the left foot this time. So we're back in our lunge position. Some of you know my awkward lunge, some of you might not. We're gonna turn both of our feet, our left leg is back. We're gonna turn both of our feet towards the right side of our mat. So my right toes are pointing that way. My left toes are pointing that way. And I'm on the outside edge of my foot. So this is a real opener in your hips for many of us. As you exhale, reach your hand back. And as you inhale, circle overhead, arch that right side body. Let the hand come down. Here's the option to step back into side plank if you wish. Or you can move into downward facing dog if you wish not to. Reaching overhead, creating that arc, and then downward facing dog for all of us. Inhale, forward plank pose. Exhale, lower down however you wish to lower down. And rise up into your back bend, cobra or up dog. And the exhale, leading with the belly, takes you back to downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths in down dog or child's pose if that's where you've landed. And we're going to move into our second side with our lunge and side plank. So float the left leg to the sky and exhale, step it to the top of your mat. We're in our lunge now, we're turning our toes to our left side and we rotate the back foot onto the outside edge. Exhale, your hand reaches out behind you. Inhale, circle overhead. Create that arc in your left side body. Left hand touches down. Step back into your side plank. Reach overhead, arch, lift the hips. Shine the light in your belly, your city of jewels out into the world here as we lift the rib cage and then rotate into downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, step, walk, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, belly draws in as we fold. We rise and reach to the sky on the inhale. And draw to your heart center. And release. I don't know about you, but I'm getting warm. Take a couple breaths in your mountain pose. Again, building heat and fire, but not wanting to burn ourselves out. Fire is purifying and transformative, but it can also get out of control. So we build some heat, we calm it down. We build some heat, we calm it down, learning how to use our fire, our willpower, our power as we move through our practice. All right, our next inhale, we reach up. And the exhale, we bow down. Inhale, lift halfway. And the exhale, we step back into, with our right foot, into a crescent lunge. Using the power of the belly, we rise up so you can stay high on your back toes and take Kali Mudra here again. So intertwining the fingers, index fingers around, thumbs are crossed. So it's holding your crescent moon, maybe reminiscing about that beautiful full moon that we've had this week. I'm going to change my position so you can see where I'm going here. Now from here, we're going to move into Warrior 3. So you can keep your hands in this position as we shift forward into our Warrior 3 balance pose, or you might draw them down to your heart center. You decide where you're going to go, but begin to shift forward into your Warrior 3, reaching through your fingers. And we're going to step back for Warrior 2, nice and gentle, and open into your Warrior 2. So warrior poses are all about finding your power, our warrior power here. So find your breath, feel grounded through the strength of your legs, looking over your middle fingers. Sometimes knowing our power is knowing when to retreat. So on your next inhale, flip the front palm, move into peaceful warrior. Bring stretch to the left side, lifting those left side ribs. Imagine shining your light from your belly, from your solar plexus out into the world. One more breath here. Good, exhale back into your warrior two. Bring the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. So option to take another flow here. Option also to take child's pose or stay in downward facing dog. You choose where you want to go for these next few breaths, what your body's really needing. We're all going to meet back in downward facing dog. Taking one more breath in your down dog, or meeting us in down dog if you're not there. And use your exhale to step, walk, or float to the top of your mat. The inhale lifts the heart. The exhale, belly draws in, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Coming into mountain pose. Sorry, just a heat adjustment there. Okay, let's do our second round. So inhaling, reaching to the sky. Exhale, we bow down, belly draws in. Inhale, halfway lift. The exhale, we're stepping the left foot to the back of the mat, rising into crescent moon. So using that power from the belly, we rise up, reach up, find your Kali mudra. Index fingers reach up. Find your steady gaze. Every exhale, the belly draws in. And every inhale, we lengthen a little bit more. So we're getting ready to move into our warrior three now. Again, you have options for your hand, either stretched out as you are as you shift forward, or drawing through to your heart center. One more breath here. And then we step back gracefully for warrior two. Again, finding your power in your warrior two. Your strength through the legs, through the feet, pressing down. And then retreating with peaceful warrior. Flipping the front palm, lifting those ribs. Letting your light shine out in your peaceful warrior. Take one more breath here. And then we exhale into our warrior two. Hands come down to the mat, stepping back, either taking a flow or taking downward facing dog or taking child's pose. Catching up, taking a little break before we move on. You choose which is best suiting you today and your body and where you're at. We're all going to meet in downward facing dog. And just taking a couple resting breaths wherever you're at. Two more breaths here. One more breath. And then we're going to float the right leg to the sky in three-legged dog. Really stretch it up, lengthen it up. Exhale, step it up between your hands. Pivot your back foot down for warrior one. And then again, rising with the power of the belly. Reaching up to the sky. Finding your warrior one. Finding your breath. And again, in this position, we're lifting our ribs and letting our light shine through. Every exhale, the belly draws in, keeping that activation of the low belly. Take one more breath here in your warrior one. I just realized I'm facing the wrong direction. And then from here, we're going to move into half moon pose. So bring your hands to your heart center. If you have your block handy, you can use your right hand on your block or on your mat. So half moon pose, we float the back leg up, and you can start with both hands as you find your balance. You can bring your hand up or reach all the way up to the sky. And as you come into your posture, think of that bright moonlight reflecting. Your body's like a star in the night sky, shining its light in all directions. One more breath. And then release your left hand down, step it back into downward facing dog. Let's move right into second side here with left leg floating up. Really stretch it up, get long, and then exhale, step it up between your hands, pivot the back foot down for warrior one. Find the power in the belly to rise up, reach up. Warrior one. And again, using the Kali Mudra, lengthening up. Every exhale, the belly draws in. One more breath. And then we're shifting into our half moon pose. So left hand either to your block. And if you're using a block, about a foot ahead of your left foot, or fingertips to the floor. Right leg floats up. You can use your right hand to steady you, or maybe your right hand even stays on a block or the floor, or radiate your light out like a star. Stay connected with your Ujjayi breath here. One more breath. And then we're going to step softly back into downward facing dog. Take child's pose if you'd like to come into child's pose and take a couple breaks. If you feel like you need to flow and flush that out, you can go ahead and do that as well. We're going to take a few breaths. We still got a few more standing poses to work our way through. So take whatever position best serves you right now. So we're going to, whenever you're ready, move into downward facing dog. We're going to work with some breath retentions on the exhale here again. And you can also do this in dolphin if your wrists are sore. You can bring your hands, your forearms down into dolphin, and you can do this here as well, or in downward facing dog. So we're going to start with our right leg. Floating the right leg up to the sky in three-legged dog. As we exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, draw the belly in, lift up high, and at the bottom of your exhale, retain the exhale, draw the belly in a little bit more. Release to inhale, reach it up. This time, do the same thing, knee to your right elbow or upper arm. Draw the belly in a little bit more. Inhale, reach it up. This time we're going to the opposite elbow. Draw the belly in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, float the foot down. Let's take child's pose. Give your wrists a little break before we do second side. Take a few breaths. Feel that heat, that energy, that vitality flowing through you, that power. Then let's go ahead, Find your way back to downward dog, and let's do second side. And if this is too much, skip out the breath retentions if it's just too much to do all of that at the same time. Otherwise, I'll cue you through that. Inhale, left leg reaches up. The exhale, draw the knee in, lift up high, draw the belly in a little bit more at the bottom of your exhale. Inhale, reach it up. This time the exhale is to the left upper arm or elbow. Draw the belly in a little more. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, opposite elbow. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, down to downward facing dog. And let's go ahead and come forward to plank and get down to your belly, all the way down to your belly, however you wish to get all the way down. Once you come to your belly, extend your arms straight out in front of you. That's right, and bring your palms together like an arrow. Sorry. Forehead resting down. Feel the pressure of the belly against the floor with every inhale. Feel the belly draw away from the floor on every exhale. And then bring your hands alongside you. Intertwine your fingers above your bum. And inhale to rise up into cobra. And then cross your right ankle over your left. Lift the legs up. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but we're reaching. And then change the cross. And exhale, come down. Press up and back, child's pose. Take a couple breaths in your child's pose, and then we are going to meet in downward facing dog. We're almost there. Take a nice long spine lengthening inhale. On the exhale, step, walk, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise up and draw into your heart center. And release. Couple breaths in mountain pose. Had you upside down for a while. Let's really feel into the power of our feet connected to the earth. Feel the flow of your breath. And create an action like you're drawing your feet apart and creating that strong foundation of your mountain pose. Feel that heat rising in the body, fire, the transformation. One more round of breath here. And then we're going to step our feet wide on our mat. Really wide on the long end of your mat. Sorry, I have mats going in both directions. And then turn your feet out 45 degrees or whatever direction for fiery angel. We can't have a solar plexus class without fiery angel. So that as you bend your knees and your middle toe are going in the same direction. And make your adjustments however you need to do that. And then we're going to do some more Kapatabali in our fiery angel. So you can have your hands just resting on your thighs if you wish, or you can have your arms up in cactus arms for your Kapatabali. So take a nice inhale, easy exhale, and then begin. And then take an inhale, reach up to the sky, create that flame. Slow exhale. Take another inhale, and then we'll retain the inhale at the top of the breath if you feel okay doing that. Don't force it. I'm just pausing for a moment here. And slow exhale. Let your hands come down as you exhale. Beautiful. Let's straighten the legs for a moment. And then bring your hands up into cactus once again. We're going to do something a bit different here. So either watch or listen carefully. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees. And then reach your right hand down to the floor. And I'm going to lift my right foot and extend it out to the side and bring the left arm up. And just pause and hold it here for a moment. And then bring it back. Come back into our goddess pose. Okay, so we'll do that a couple of times. So take an inhale. Bring the left hand down this time. And we're going to lift the left foot and bring it through. So extending through that foot, right arm reaches up like you're protecting yourself. And then bring that foot back. Come into your warrior. Let's do one more time to each side in case you didn't get it the first round. So right hand is going to come down. Right foot lifts up and comes through. Left arm reaches up. And then step it back. A little bit of balance happening here. Left hand comes down this time. I got a bad knee, so I got to support my knee here. Reaching the left leg through. And then step it back. And then let's rise up, turn your toes so that they're parallel to the short ends of your mat. Intertwine your fingers and we're folding forward in wide-legged forward fold or prasarita. Opening the heart, letting the breath flow, fold forward. Exhale. Use your inhale to slowly rise up, nice and slow. Keep your chin lowered so you don't get dizzy. And then just pause here. Take a moment for present moment awareness. Feel all that energy, that flow, that heat moving through your body, that purification. Staying connected to your ujjayi breath. And then just turn your toes to the top of your mat, whatever direction that is for you. And we're going to bring the hands down to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. And then come down to your knees. And you're going to turn to the long side of your mat again. So whichever direction works for you so you can still see. And extend your right leg out to the side. So we're moving into gate pose. So your right leg's extended, your right hand is on your right thigh. Reach the left hand up to the sky. Take an inhale, lift the ribs as you reach through the elbow. Exhale, side bend over to your straight leg side, to your right side. So again, it's like we're lifting the ribs up to expose that light, that flame in our belly. Shine your light out into the world. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to come back to center and keep going with that left arm. Bring it down to the floor. And you can either reach your right arm straight up and keep your foot down or float that foot up as well. And maybe you even reach that arm overhead. So again, we're really lengthening on both sides of the body here. One more breath. And bring the foot down. Come back up. Bring that knee in, and we're gonna do second side. Sorry, I gotta move over a little bit. So left leg's extended, left hand resting on your left leg. Reach the right arm up. Get nice and long through that right side body. And exhale, side bend. Lift those right ribs. Shine your light out. One more breath here. And then we come to center and just keep going with that right hand until it comes down to the floor. Either keeping the left leg down or floating it up, whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe reaching to the sky, maybe extending overhead. Trying to keep both side bodies, both ribs lifted and long. One more breath. And then float the foot down. Come all the way up. Draw that knee in. And let's find child's pose. I have a feeling that there's some of you are ready for child's pose. And then let's inhale up. Find a seat. We've got one last opportunity to do Kapalabhati if you so choose to. Find your block or your rolled up towel. Place it between your thighs again. We're going to move into boat pose or Navasana. So there's lots of variations for your boat pose, but all of them you'll be holding onto your block. So squeezing your block. This could be where you're at, and you can do Kapalabhati in this version of a boat pose. Or you can lift your feet, hang on to the back of your thighs, or you can extend everything up. So we're gonna do just a short round of Kapalabhati if you so choose to do so. I'm not taking the full version because I'm tired. So you choose where you're going to be. So remember, it's support, lots of support, a little bit of support, no support. Whoops, you choose. But wherever you're going to be, if you choose to do Kapalabhati, take a nice inhale and then begin. Even as you're doing your Kapalabhati, keep your heart lifted. And go ahead and release down. Take your block out, come into Dandasana. So legs extended, toes pointing up to the sky. You can pull the flesh out, draw your thighs out, reach up to the sky, create that flame shape once again, lengthening up. Gathering all that heat, all that purification, all that power. And then we're simply going to fold forward, release everything into the flame, into Paschimottanasana, either holding your shins, hands on the floor, maybe holding your toes, it doesn't matter, whatever is appropriate for you today. And then slowly coming back up. And we're going to move into a twist, a seated twist. So you can keep your left leg extended as you bend the right. You can cross. Actually, you know what? We're going to stay like this. Sorry. So right leg is bent, but we're keeping it in the inside. We're not crossing over. Maybe I'll do it like this. And we're going to do an open twist first. So by an open twist, we're going to bring the right arm inside of that right knee. Left hand is behind you. Your arm can be either straight or bent. And we're twisting to the left. So it's very open through the belly and through the heart center. And so twists are good at wringing out the abdominal area, which is what we've been working with a lot today. And this can help release any excess heat as we begin to wind down. And then come back to center. Now we're going to do the closed twist. So option to stay exactly where we are as we turn to the right, or cross your right foot over, or draw the left leg under for our classic twist. I personally like to wrap my left arm around that knee because I also get a little hip opening. You can also bring your elbow outside. Whichever variation you take, we're twisting to the right. And so now there's a little more pressure on the belly. And as you exhale, you can even use that belly to draw in and twist towards your right to create that wringing out action. One more breath here. And then use your exhale to unwind to center. Little mini counter twist to the other side. Release back to center and extend both legs out in front of you again. Maybe you want to shake it out. And then we draw the left knee in. So starting with our open twist. So your left arm is going to come inside of that left leg, and you can kind of use it as leverage. We twist to the right. So the belly is open, the heart center is open, allowing whatever excess heat we've created to escape through the front body, to balance. And then releasing. And we're twisting to the other side now. So you can keep your feet just where they were. You can cross over, or you can draw the bottom leg under. This time wrapping the right arm around that knee, that left knee, or placing the elbow on the outside of that left knee. We're twisting left. So the exhales, the belly can draw in and twist. Use that action of the muscles to twist to the left as well. One more breath. And then we unwind, come back to center, a little counter twist to the opposite side. Come back to center, release the legs out in front, shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to lie back down on your back. Take your block with you. We just have one more, maybe two more things we're going to do before we go into Shavasana. Is it getting cold down there? No. You're good. Okay. So grab your block, lay on your back, block between your thighs. We're winding it down into some gentle supine twists. So a couple of options here. You can spread your arms wide, bringing the shins parallel to the floor. Some of you that feel like you want more challenge, you can do this with straight legs. I find that places a lot of tension on my low back, so I prefer to keep my knees bent. And we're just taking an inhale in center, and exhale, let your knees drop to one side. And let your head roll to the other direction. And then come back to center and go to the other side. And we're just slowly, with your breath, go side to side a couple of times. So we're still using those muscles, abdominal muscles, to create this action. Squeezing in on your block. And on this next one, as you move into whichever side you started with, just let yourself rest there. Let your block be a prop to assist you however you need to be able to rest in your supine twist. And if it's placing it underneath your knees, go ahead and do that. And then we're going to come back to center. And exhale to the other side. And again, you can use your block underneath your knees if you like that support there. And let your head roll opposite of your knees. And come back to center. Place your block off to the side somewhere. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Give yourself a nice low back massage. And then we're going to move into our final Shavasana. So if you need some socks, if you need a sweater, a blanket, go ahead and gather those things up and get yourself ready for Shavasana. And we'll do Manipura meditation after Shavasana. So as you find your way onto your back, just take a moment as you settle to feel all the sensations in your body. Feel the warmth that you created with the movements and the breath. Perhaps you even feel some tingling of the energy still moving throughout your body. And then take a moment. Let's all reach your arms overhead towards the wall behind you. Hopefully you're all positioned in such a way that you can do that. And then bring your awareness to your right leg and left arm. And as you inhale, extend that arm and that leg as much as you can, get as long as you can. And as you exhale, release, let that go. And then let's do the other side. Opposite arm, opposite leg. On the inhale, get as long as you can. And let your exhale allow you to release down. Do that one more time to each side. Nice and long as you extend on the inhale, and then just let everything soften down and get heavy on your exhale. And then after you've done both sides 2 times, let your hands just release down alongside your body, just enough away from your sides that your palms can face up to receive. Bring your awareness to the belly. And if you want to bring your hands to your belly, you're welcome to do that as well. And just feel your soft breath there, letting go of the ujjayi breath. And maybe you want to visualize that city of jewels in your solar plexus, glowing embers and jewel colors. All that energy available to you whenever you need it. And after all that action, allow stillness for the next few moments. All that energy being absorbed by every cell in your body. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Beginning to feel the breath movement in your belly. Breathing movement into fingers and toes. And then taking a moment to decide, perhaps you want to stay laying on your back for a little longer as we move into our meditation. Perhaps bending your knees and grounding the soles of your feet here. Or perhaps you're ready to move into fetal position. Taking a moment's pause. And when you're ready, moving into a seat of whatever is comfortable for you. And if you have chosen to move into a seat or change your lying down position, just take a moment to settle into this new position. Take a minute to feel grounded once again. And then take a minute to feel into your breath, into the belly. Notice what you feel here, wherever you are at. Part of enlightenment is to allow ourselves to be filled with light. Now, whether you're lying or sitting, bring both hands to your belly. This energy center of Manipura, the city of jewels, our solar plexus. Begin to imagine a glowing golden ball of fire here in your midsection, generating heat and energy for your entire body. Feel the chakras below of earth and water being in our ground and in our feelings, containing the energy, keeping the fire from getting too hot. And then feel consciousness coming down from above, forming that fire, directing it, shaping it. Feel the fire energizing each and every cell in your body. And now let the fire burn quietly, like embers. The spark is there when you need it, whenever you need it. You control the fire. Know that all action comes from your will, and you are the creator of your future. Let's bring hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale. Exhale slowly out your mouth. And we'll close with one Om. Let your eyes slowly float open. Bring your awareness back into your space. Namaste.